Hello everybody, it's Serafina and I'm here with your daily tarot insight. So before we begin, I would like to call upon the spirit of the universe that loves us unconditionally. I would like to call upon the spirits of this land, of this island, and of this ocean, and I thank them for holding the space and for their ancient wisdom. And I would like to call upon my guides, archangels, ancestors, my team of light, and my higher self, and I thank them for their guidance and presence with this collective reading. Okay, so beloved spirit of the universe, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? What guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Empress. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Hanged Man. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the card of Judgment. So already we have two repeating cards from yesterday. And we have the card of the Five of Swords. Okay. Feel like picking one more. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Alchemy of the Hierophant. Okay. To complement, I would like to choose from this deck. What further guidance is there for the collective today? Inner power. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. And I'm really liking this moonology lately. Actually, no. Today we're gonna go with Archangel Metatron. What further guidance is there for the collective today? Blessings and thanks. We have the cornucopia of abundance. Okay. So it's interesting to see that we have two cards that are repeated from yesterday. But you know what? Actually, before we begin, let's read from Archangel Metatron's card of abundance, 47. Drawing this card shows that blessings are available to you now and you are offered a full harvest. The question is, do you feel worthy to claim it? Universal harvest is available to all, and yet so often in a world of suffering and sense of lack, it is easy to be fearful that there isn't enough. This is not what was intended. The earth has bounty for all to share freely. But that reality is blocked by fear, and we feel the need to hoard and to save and to worry over where the next meal is coming from, how to pay the next bill. Often we may have grown up seeing debt and poverty as a way of life. But what if you were told that you will always have enough, that you will need to trust that this is so? What feelings does that bring up for you to heal? Maybe there's a story of lack within your family, lack of money, lack of food, lack of security or safety. And so you dread those states of being. And even when you do have enough, you still worry it will all be taken away. This card now highlights the need to heal that part of you that fears not being supported or looked after. Your spiritual army of helpers will not see you go hungry or alone if you truly ask for help. For the truth is that the earth is alive and able to evolve and sustain all who live on her as long as Gaia is respected and energy and intention are poured back into her soil and her elements. And this is something that you can all do every single day. The simplest way to give back to the earth is to give thanks. The cornucopia, or the horn of plenty, illustrates here, symbolizes the abundance that's available to you. The warmth of the colors also remind you to be thankful for the heat of an open fire, a warm bed, a loving home. The wish of the angels is to bring you all of this and more. Saying thank you for what you already have is courtesy that brings more to your door. And never an ending supply for more. Substance and whatever you need to thrive in this life is offered to you now. Open up to receive. So I really like those questions that it asks about abundance. And how would you live your life if you ultimately knew that you didn't have to worry about anything, that you will be provided with everything you need, as you already have been most of your life. And a lot of the anxiety that comes with it was completely unnecessary. So let's get into the cards. Starting off with the Queen of Abundance, the Empress, right? The Empress is ruled by Venus. And she is the Queen of Swords, Wands, Cups, and Pentacles, all in one. And she is in her garden of abundance, and she knows everything is going to be provided because she provides it, right? She also represents fertility. So that's something that I was kind of picking up on when I was, picking these cards. And now that we have this card of abundance, like I'm just feeling this amount of fertility. And it doesn't have to literally mean that that's someone you know or that you are going to be pregnant, but it could be that there are fertile ideas around you, that the soil is ready for things to grow. So yeah, the Empress also is related to issues around mother, similar to yesterday with the Queen of Cups. So I'm wondering if some of that same energy from yesterday of our female relationships, our relationship to mother, our relationship to the earth is kind of like still playing out right now. And ultimately I kind of feel like what's being questioned for us is lack, right? So moving on to the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is asking us to perceive something from a different point of view. And as we mentioned with the Judgment card yesterday, it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call to be able to release perceptions that no longer are fitting to the way that we are living our life, the way that we want to live our life, and coming out of this slumber, right? Funnily enough, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords does indicate a moment that there's going to be some tension. The Five of Swords also says, are you more willing to be right? Or are you willing to keep the peace with something or someone around you? Because the Five of Swords can represent like a mental process that maybe was unnecessary. Like, at what cost do you want to win certain things? And I feel that what's being questioned here is our relationship to abundance, to money, to how we kind of live our daily life also. Because our relationship with money and being provided for and allowing ourselves to be nurtured is directly reflected on how we spend our day to day, right? If you're constantly hustling, if you're constantly anxious and thinking that you have to get through a huge to-do list in one day, what does that say about you feeling safe within yourself and trusting that your needs will be met at the end of the day? So the small actions that we take day to day are very significant of our relationship with the Divine Mother, with Mother Earth, and with trusting that all our needs are going to be met. And so the alchemy of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is, a very spiritual card. And usually he comes to indicate a need for us to take on higher studies. Or it could be us kind of like finding the way that we fit into the conventional system and kind of like transcending it. But right now, what I'm really feeling with the Hierophant present right now is the need for study and to be able to rise above like all these mundane things and our relationship to the material realm. And the way that's very easy to be able to do that is through study, right? The Hierophant can also mean like being taught, like allowing yourself to be taught. So if you have been maybe contemplating joining a certain class regarding something, some new skill that you would like to do, or a new spiritual practice that you've been thinking about incorporating into your life, I think that the Hierophant is here to say, yes, that's a really good idea. And then we have inner power. Give me the courage and power to do what must be done. And I really feel that this is relating back to the Five of Swords situations that may be coming up for some of us, where there's going to be some sort of quarrel, some sort of moment where you're going to have to make a choice. Am I going to keep on engaging with this difficult situation, with this mental battle that I'm having with myself or either another person? Or am I going to resort to my inner power to do the right thing, which is rise above things? And how do we rise above things? When we kind of put things into perspective and we're like, is it really worth having this, this conversation with someone over $100? Or am I just going to rise above it and know that I'm going to be met with at the end of the day, and my relationship with abundance and with fertility and with the mother is fine. I'm good. I don't need to do this, right? So I just really want to come back to the card of the Hierophant. I really feel that he is here. He's present here for a reason. Another signification of the Hierophant is commitment. It's commitment. So I feel that maybe we're being called to have like a higher level of commitment to something, to ourselves. But what I'm also just seeing right now is just like, I know I keep on mentioning this eclipse that just happened, but I kind of feel that it came through and it kind of just like burned a lot of things, kind of like a forest fire, let's say, and it kind of lifted the veil. And eclipses are all about veils, right? Because they're the play between the dark and the light. So it's kind of like these eclipses, specifically this last one, the lunar eclipse, they kind of like go lifting veils. And I feel that this is going to be happening over the next 6 months or 18 months, if you want to say it, but more now in this 2-week period where we're going to be entering into the new moon in Gemini, because, we just had these 2 eclipses that opened up these portals. And right now we're going to enter into the other lunations until the eclipses at the end of the year. So if I'm explaining myself properly, we had these 2 eclipses right now, and then we're going to have 2 more eclipses, and I think it's November, which are also Scorpio and Taurus axis. So all this time in between is going to be between eclipses, just not as intense as it was before. But what that says is that there's going to be a time for change. And what I'm referring to is that the veils are going to be lifted. So we're going to be we're going to be seeing different layers of truth that are going to be exposed to us. And yes, when Kalima comes in to destroy everything, when anything is destroyed, it's difficult, right? When the fire of the phoenix burns, it's difficult, but ultimately what it shows is what's really meant to stay there, the life that is gestating, that was really meant to stay there. And then we know that that's a fertile ground for forests to regenerate and for ecosystems to come back to life. So, that somehow still ties into the theme of abundance, right? Of just trusting that you will be met, trusting that whatever it is that this fire is coming to sweep up and whatever veils are being lifted, the life that is meant to be there is still going to be there. And I think that there's a call for inner power and inner courage right now. Be careful with your words. Also, let's not forget we're in Mercury retrograde, right? So this 5 of Swords, I feel, is really saying, let's forget about the petty arguments. Let's forget about who said what and who is right and who is not, right? Let's rise above this. And let's possibly even take some classes. Let's further our knowledge in something that we've been contemplating, because now is the ripe time to do it, because it's going to somehow serve not only my spiritual side of my life, but it's going to nourish, which is another Empress theme of fertility. It's going to nourish me from the bottom up in all aspects of my life. So I feel that that's a really key word today, nourishment. Okay. So To finish off, I would like to pick a card from the Angel Oracle deck. What further guidance is there for the collective today, angels? What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the angel of the essence of love. Let love be the center of my life. What a beautiful reminder. Let's see what this angel has to say. Oh, here it is. The eye, the symbol of the heaven paradise, casts radiant beams throughout the universe. The lion symbolizes the fire and passion that love can stir in us. This passion is seen throughout creation, which is here symbolized by the moon and stars. The fiery winged wheels are the symbol of the seraphim. So how beautiful. We can see the lion that they're speaking about here, which is the passion and love. And they say that these represent the seraphim, which burn out of love to God. The word seraphim literally translates to fiery ones. And how appropriate that we also got a lion here, right? Inner power, inner passion, inner love. That's what Leo is all about, heart-centeredness. Okay, the angel of the essence of love helps us to strip off the mask of illusion. Again, speaking about veils, right? The angel of the essence of love helps us to strip off the mask of illusion and see that love is the essence of all life. This angel works to help us unfold from the limited cocoon of our ego and the magnificent creatures of light we are. When we have penetrated the illusions of personality and the destructive nature of negativity, we realize that we are, at our core, a fountain of love. So it's beautiful that it's saying this, don't you think? Because, we were just speaking about forest fires and fertility and our relationship to mother and abundance and higher learning, right? And then it says, when we have penetrated the illusions of personality and the destructive nature of negativity, right? The veils are risen and we realize what we are at our core, and that's a fountain of love. This love lives at the corner of every living cell in our bodies and in the heart of all beings. The consciousness of which we are made permeates all other living substance too. Our own sweet essence is the same as a universal essence of love which unites us and bonds us intimately with the source. We can offer prayers to the angel of essence to love to help us recognize the essence which lies at the heart of our being. When we choose to identify with this essence, we are coming from our higher self, which is the aspect of the divine, rather than from that other self of the small individual ego. We seek assistance to help us detach ourselves from the illusions of our being and to find the undying reality that we are one with Source and with all of life. As we open our hearts to the love within us, we find that the essence of love is a basic and fundamental substance of life. Without it, nothing could grow or flourish, and life would cease to exist. The angel of the essence of love carefully guards this substance within each of us. We choose to live from this space. When we choose to live from this space, we are given untold treasures in the shape of experiences which acknowledge to us that love is who we are. So this is beautiful, and so many ideas are coming into my head that I can't even keep track with them. But basically, it's speaking that we have this angel of the essence of love, and this angel guards this spark of love within every single one of us. And we can call upon this angel if we want to, because this is what I was seeing, is that this is like the glue. This love is like the glue that unites all of creation. And so that's why they say that, for example, anything that is not love is just an illusion. So like the other day, I was thinking about fear. And fear, no matter how you want to portray it, is always going to be an illusion. Because as I said here, at a fundamental level, love is what unites everything. So there's no space for fear there. And when I try to think of these things, I try to really detach my emotions from it and try to see love literally as like something functional within the universe, like literally like a glue that puts us all together. And then ultimately you can, obviously there's emotion with it, right? But sometimes I like to visualize things like that just to understand like the dynamics of things and how it's really hard for our humans to understand that there is enough love for everything and everyone to flourish and to blossom and to be. So I really feel that at a core, this reading is about allowing the veils to be lifted of our false perceptions of our egos, of others, and of the way we've been perceiving the world in order to allow ourselves to be nourished, to rekindle our relationship with that feminine divine side of life, where we allow ourselves to be loved and to love others without veils or masks behind it, right? Because we're going to be seeing things from a new point of view, as a hangman has already been telling us. We're going to be seeing things, enlightening ourselves by hanging ourselves upside down and seeing things differently. And the judgment is already telling us that there's an awakening that's happening and we're waking from our slumber. And don't give in to petty arguments, because those are things that keep us tied down to the unnecessary things of life. And maybe we could take up some higher studies and commit more to what is going to help our soul evolve and nourish other aspects of our life. And it's going to require inner power, inner passions, and to really eradicate our perception and our relationship with abundance. How would you live every day knowing that you are taken care of and that you're not going to go hungry and you're going to have somewhere to sleep? Because that's the reality for a lot of people who watch these videos, at least, right? And going back to the angel of the essence of love, right? Just to remind us that we all have that divine spark within us, and it's part of this divine essence of love, and how we can connect to that every single day is going to make such a radical difference to how we relate to ourselves, to others, and to the abundance that life is continuously flowing towards us. Okay, everybody, I hope that this was useful to you. If you like this video, I would ask you to please share, comment, or subscribe. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you could just write me a message and we could arrange a time and day for that. Other than that, I will be seeing you here tomorrow. Bye.